Hello and welcome back to my channel, The Arts. Today I'm going to be teaching you guys how to make your own stuffed animal. But before we get started, please press the like and subscribe button. Thank you. First, we're going to need some stuffing to stuff the stuffed animal. Then, we're going to need some fake eyes. And we're also going to need some scissors. And make sure to get a pair of fuzzy socks and make sure that they're both matching. Last but not least, a thread and needle so we can sew it all together. First thing first, we're going to need to cut one of the socks in the shape of a head. Next, you're going to have to puncture a small hole in the sock where you want the eye to be. And make sure that you have a clip for the eye so the eye doesn't fall off. But if you don't have a clip for the eye, then that's totally fine. You could just hot glue the eye in place. Okay, after when you do that, you have to get the stuffing and stuff the head. Make sure to get a lot of stuffing. It may look like it only needs a very little bit, but it needs a lot. Now we're gonna need to sew the head. After when you finish sewing the head, cut the excess cloth. And now we're gonna have to make the body. So first, draw the body in this shape on both sides. Here's a little hint so it can help you guys. It should look like this in the end. Now we're gonna have to sew in all the places where we drew. You don't have to worry if your stitching is neat at all. It's because in the end, we're just gonna flip it all inside out so we won't even see the stitchings. Do you guys know how we have two layers so far? You're gonna wanna cut the top layer. Just make sure you don't cut the bottom layer or else it'll all be ruined. Like how I did, so we can flip it all inside out so we don't see the stitchings. After when you flip it inside out, you're gonna wanna stuff it all. And now you're gonna wanna sew it so the stuffing doesn't come out. Okay, after when you sew it, now we're gonna wanna make the ears. So get all the excess sock that you have and draw a shape of the ear like how I did, then sew it. After when you're done finishing both ears, you're gonna wanna sew them in place. After when you sew the ears, now we have both pieces, the head and the body. Now we want to sew the head to the body. If you have a bigger needle, make sure to use it, but if you don't, that's absolutely fine. Now sew the head on the end of the body. For this project, you don't really have to do a zebra like how I'm doing. You could do a horse, a unicorn, or anything that you want. Even a lamb would work. Because zebras have really rough hair, I'm gonna make pom-poms for their hair, black and white pom-poms. But if you want straight hair, if you're doing either a unicorn or a horse, you could just do what I did for the tail. To make the pom-poms, first you're gonna wanna get a small piece of yarn and put it on the middle of the fork. And after that, you're gonna take a long strand of yarn and wrap it all around the fork. After when you finish doing that, make sure to tie it all around. After when you tie it and take off the fork, make sure to cut the ends so it could have a pom-pom effect. What I did over here, instead of sewing it onto the zebra, I just hot glue gunned it. It's because it would be so much easier. But you don't have to glue it. You could also sew it if you'd like to. Here, I'll show you guys one more example of how to make the pom-poms, just in case if you guys didn't get it the first time. Cut a small strand of yarn, put it right in the middle of the fork. After that, wrap all the long piece of yarn all around the fork. And after when you do that, tie the two ends together. Then take the small strand that we put it in the middle of the fork and tie them together. Then take it off of the fork and cut the two ends so it could have a pom-pom effect. After you do that, trim the pom-pom so it could have all even sides. But before you do that, if the center of your pom-pom isn't tied enough, make sure to add another strand of yarn and tie it really well so it doesn't start to break. And make sure you glue that piece right next to the other. Continue doing that until you're satisfied with how much pom-poms it has on its head. Now I'm going to be making the tail. To make the tail extremely silky and soft, you want to get a nice brush. I like to use a cat brush because it brushes it out really good. And then continue brushing it and then glue it onto the back of your stuffed animal. And now we're all done. If you guys have any questions about how to make the stuffed animal, just go down to the comments below and ask me. I hope you guys enjoyed this video today, and if you did, please leave a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Thank you.